Nikola Jokic over the past 3 years has produced to historic levels in both the regular season and the postseason, to the point where I am comfortable at this moment in this season to call him the best player in the world. Jokic from the 2021 season to this season has easily been the best offensive center of all time and one of the best offensive players of all time altogether. In that time frame, Nikola Jokic has averaged 26 points, 12 rebounds, and almost 9 assists, shooting 59% from the field and 36% from 3 on about 3 attempts per game, with a true shooting of about 67%, which is absolutely absurd. While putting up those numbers, he has remained relatively healthy and has translated pretty well into the postseason. Just these playoffs so far, we've seen him absolutely cook the former Defensive Player of the Year with ease, where they eventually beat the Timberwolves in 5 games. But even in the postseasons before this one, he performed well. Taking a look at the postseasons from 2021 until now, he averages 29, 12, and 6 on 52, 39, and 80 splits with a true shooting of 60%. So this man has shown he has been very consistent with his play in both the regular season and the playoffs while staying healthy in the process. So I believe it's fair to crown him as the best player in the world right now. Now, of course, he isn't perfect. He still has problems defensively with the pick and roll and him playing drop coverage, like we've seen in that Warriors series last year, but I don't think him not being great defensively trumps my claim of him being the best. With his consistency, amazing offensive ability, and being able to have success with the team he has had not being the greatest either, he is still definitely in that conversation. Now, I don't think he is unanimously the best player, meaning if you disagree with me, I'm not questioning you too much, but I do think he has the best case currently. For the other candidates, I think Steph has a chance to finish the postseason as the best. I also consider Giannis being in that same tier as well, and I'm still saying that after his first round out, because for the most part, we knew his weaknesses from the free throw line, in the post, and his shakiness in the half-court set. But taking into account his injury and the coaching of Mike Budenholzer, I'm not willing to take him out at the moment. And I say this knowing you might be saying, if you have all these excuses for him while knowing his weaknesses, why even take him out in the first place? But I would rebuttal that with the reason he was number one for me in the first place was because of that amazing finals he had in 2021 with him playing through an injury and hitting 17 of 19 free throws to win the championship. He rose above his weaknesses and literally won a ring. But in the closeout game this year, you end up missing 13 free throws in a game that went to overtime. That is, in my opinion, completely unacceptable. His weaknesses actually showed more in this series with his lack of post play and his horrible free throw shooting. Seeing his free throw percentage drop from 64% in the regular season to 45% in the playoffs is just egregious. So for that reason, in my eyes, he left the best player in the world up for grabs. Now for Steph's argument, I think he has had a good chance to take that title, especially if he wins another ring. But at the moment, I believe Jokic has a stronger argument. In the past 3 years, Jokic has been more healthy and, in my opinion, has been a better offensive player. Even though Steph has been spectacular, without Jokic, for 2 seasons, was carrying his team with some key injuries, Jokic has been able to do more with less while still being able to put up historic numbers offensively. This argument between Steph and Jokic is not that far off to where I would question you if you took Steph over him, but for the time being, I'll give that title to Jokic. Now, there is a chance that in this Sun series, Jokic's weaknesses defensively are exposed to a T and end up losing the series pretty bad. If that happens, I'll revisit this topic. But for the meantime, I believe Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world.